Rex, Sarah. Yeah. What questions do you have for Dr. V?
Well, I agree with you, Dr. Dave. We need another 2 hours here. This was so good.
Yeah.
I have a couple questions. My first one is, I was thinking back to when you were talking about the Gottmans and when she would say, we need to talk, and that would kind of put up his defenses. I was curious if you have any thoughts about, if you're the one that wants to have the conversation, is there a different way that you can phrase it or say that question rather than we need to talk? Like, what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I also want people to have a lot of self-compassion. There are moments when I'm not going to be perfect. I am not going to know or remember how to do it differently, and I'm going to say it that way. So, forgive yourself for it. But a better way to do it would be go to where your partner is. Make sure they're not preoccupied. Ask, can I have a little bit of your time? And then to always begin, we have what's called the gentle startup formula. And the gentle startup formula goes this way. I feel, followed by an emotion. About, followed by a neutral description of the situation. I want to describe the scene and not the person. And I need, followed by a positive request. So I walk into let's say the bedroom. My husband looks like he's free. And I say to him, hey, honey, can I tell you something? And he says, sure. And I wait for him to turn and face me. And I say, I feel pretty frustrated when I ask you to put oil in my car and it's been 3 weeks and I'm noticing the red light come on. And now I'm worried. And what I'd really like is to know, can you make this a priority and do it in the next day or two? 9 out of 10 times, he's going to say, oh, yeah, sorry. Yes, I'll take care of it right away. Right? That's what we want.
Yeah, I love that.
Do you ever run into situations? I know we're talking about positivity, but do you run into situations where maybe one partner is stuck in a negative feedback of rumination?
Oh, absolutely. It's a habit of mind, right? So the person who's stuck in a negative habit of rumination is in some ways doing what we call a pre-mortem most of the time. What they're doing is they're already thinking about, okay, tomorrow we have to go to my mother's house for dinner. And when we go, it's going to be a huge battle to get our daughter dressed appropriately. And then my wife and I are going to get in a fight along the way. And if we do, what can I do about that? Maybe I can tell her, please don't yell at me in the car. And if I tell her that, would she listen to me? So see, I am totally in a rabbit hole. But what am I doing? I'm predicting. I'm analyzing. I think, and Martin Seligman also talks about this, his first work was on learned pessimism. Learned pessimism is where I think if I think through this, I am going to prevent the bad thing from happening. But it's actually the exact opposite. The more I think about all of the things that make me scared and resentful and frustrated, the more likely I'm to repeat it.
You're setting the stage for a tragedy instead of a comedy.
Yes.
That's good. I like how you framed all that, and it was very relatable. We're going to go through all these problems. And that is good. I often see too that, and I experienced this myself early in my marriage, is because I wasn't in touch with my feelings. I didn't know what I wanted. So I would argue for something, but it really wasn't what I wanted because I didn't know what I wanted. How do you help people kind of get in touch with their feelings so they can be more positive and figure out what they want?
There's a lot of different ways. I think the simplest thing that I would suggest is begin by learning how to tell what sensations you're having in your body and what thoughts you're having in your brain, and see if you can make a connection between the sensations and the thoughts, and then put a label to it. So I feel butterflies in my stomach and my brain is going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm probably afraid. Right? So learn how to put that connection together and then label it. You could label it wrong, But for you, fear might look like that. For you, anxiety might look a particular way. As you begin to do that more and more, you begin to have a vocabulary. Eugene Gendlin is a researcher who did a lot of research on this, and he wrote a book called Focusing. He also developed a scale called the experiencing scale, which actually teaches people how to do that very specific process of learning how to tell what feelings they're having and then how to articulate the feelings.
Excellent. Excellent. Those are my questions.
Thank
Do you have any more, Sarah?
We've kept you so long.
Yeah.
Dr. Meunier, bless you.
Yes. Yeah. You've been more than generous. Yeah. With your time, Dr. V. Thank you so much again.
You are most welcome. It was my pleasure. It felt effortless. And thank you for making that happen.
Thank you. Such an inspiration you are. Thank you, my friend. I need to sharpen up all things Gottman.
Thanks for joining us today. Hey, do us a favor and take a few minutes to subscribe to our podcast and the Utah Marriage Commission YouTube channel, where you can watch this and every episode of the show. When you hit the like button and leave a comment, your feedback helps us improve the show. And don't forget to share this episode with a friend. You can also follow and connect with us on Instagram at Stronger Marriage Life and on Facebook at Stronger Marriage. Be sure to share with us what topics you want us to explore or what you loved about today's episode. If you want even more resources to improve your relationship connection, visit our website at strongermarriage.org, where you'll find free workshops, webinars, relationship surveys, and more. Each episode of Stronger Marriage Connection is hosted and sponsored by the Utah Marriage Commission at Utah State University. And finally, a big thanks to our producers Rex Polanis and Alexis Alcott and the team at Utah State University. And you, our audience. You make this show possible. The opinions, findings, conclusions, and recommendations expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect the views of the Utah Marriage Commission.